What is going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Hope everybody out there is doing well today. As for myself, I am doing good out here in this shop, working out here in this shop, trading, and wanted to go ahead and get a recap done. I actually did a recap last night and I did not post it. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna go ahead and get that one done after the fact, but I definitely am going to post this one after I finish doing it. Actually just did the recap live streaming, and then I thought about it and I was like, that might not be the best way to get it out there because a lot of people don't watch live streams. So let's go ahead, let's redo this recap for y'all. Today was a pretty good day. Today I was trading in the Top Step XFA account again. Second day in this particular 50K XFA. Nice solid day, even after a late start. But yeah, we did what we had to do. Wednesdays is a late start day for me because I have other obligations from 4 a.m. till about 10:30 a.m. So usually when I get to the desk or when I get out in the shop, which is now my new trading desk, I'm getting in the market a little late, and today was that way. But let's go ahead. We're going to go over into Top Step first. So let's go ahead over into Top Step. We'll look at the performance information for the trades that we took today, and then we'll flip back over to Thinkorswim. I have already marked the charts up because, like I said, I did this recap already. So you're going to see the arrows on the charts. And we'll look at the trades, see how we did. But as you can see, if you look up here, upper left, you see I have locked myself out of this account. Realized P&L, I'm up 242 on the day with Top Step in an XFA. 5 days, over $200, you could request a payout. Is that the brightest thing to do? Not really. If you're only making $200 and you get 5 winning days and you request a payout, after they give you your $500, because 5 times 2 is going to be 1,000, you're going to get half of that. It's only going to leave you with a max loss limit of $500. So if you give back $500, they're going to blow that account up. That account started with a $2,000 max loss limit. So I think it's wise to make over the $2,000 max loss limit and then request the payout. I didn't do that in some Top Step XFAs and I no longer have them. So that's the wise way to do it. But you do see that the balance, we're up 834. Yesterday, we stepped on the gas a little bit. We'll look and see what we made. And then I'll tell you how or why I ended up stepping on the gas and making that. Let's jump on over into the performance. We're going to be reviewing trades for February 26th. It's amazing that February is already gone. Crazy. Again, we made 242 today. That was on 100%. That was on green trades. That was trading a new strategy, a new script, a new edge that I like to call the OTRS trade system. The OTRS trade system. Now I'll explain what that is as I'm describing what I was doing today. You'll kind of figure out what those letters mean. Average winning trade, $40. Average losing trade was 0. Goose egg. Profit factor was 1. Let's scroll on down. Wednesday, that's today. We made 242, showing that I took 6 trades today. Took a total of 16 MNQs. Average trade time was 1 minute and 9 seconds. The thing with this OTRS trade system edge is you are on the right side of the trade. You want to be on the right side of the trade. That is the That's the goal when we trading. We want to be on the right side of the trade. We want to be on the right side of the trade immediately. Immediately, if not sooner. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Had to take that phone call from one of my customers that was coming to pick up an order. But where were we? Let's jump back into the performance stats. 6 trades, a lot of 16, 1 minute, 9 seconds average time, because we are trying to be on the right side of the trade. We know that every trade is not going to work, but let's be on the right side for most of them. Average winning trade was $40. Again, we didn't take no loss. Best trade, $90. Worst trade, $23. This will be important when we kind of go back and look at the trades. Scroll down. Hold times, you see minimum, because the edge, or the way that I was trading the last month or so, I made some good money. I got some payouts, built up some money in the cash account. But a lot of the times I wasn't on the right side of the trade initially. And I had to stay in that trade until that trade finally worked out. Sometimes to my detriment. And I take a little hit, not a little hit, but a big hit sometimes, bigger than I would want to hit. With this particular edge, no, not so much, because it's momentum based. It is momentum based. A lot of it is, I won't say live traders, or will say live traders, but they didn't invent a lot of what they have in their edge, in their live traders, professional trading strategies course. A lot of it is not really rocket science. They just built upon what other people were doing. That's what I did with this. I kind of built upon what live traders, what the professional trading strategies had kind of built upon. But let's scroll down. You see today we made 242.66. Yesterday we made 591.94. That was starting off the morning with a $360 green morning. And going into the morning session, I said I was going to risk $50. I was going to risk $50. And if I lost $50, I would lock that account up $300. Well, guess what, y'all? Found an A+ setup. I rarely use that word, A+ setup, but I think that was an A+ setup. Kind of stepped on the gas. Made about $240, $230. Got up to $591. Guess what I did, y'all? I locked that account immediately. I did say that I was like, well, maybe I could risk $40. And now if I get to $550, I can go ahead and lock it. No, let's lock all $591 in. That's what we did. Come on down. Let's look at these trades. 6 trades. Come on over here to the P&L. You see, again, not really big home runs. Nah, we're not batting for home runs, especially trading momentum. But what we were doing was trying to lock in whenever it got to 1R because of how the market was moving. So I would lock in when I was up $50 and not locking in $50, but moving my stop to break even when I'm up $50 and then kind of trail stopping it. This one here, we almost got the 2R out of it. Almost got the 2R out of it. But let's go ahead. Let's jump on over to Think or Swim where the magic happens. Got Think or Swim pulled up. This is my new layout that I've been using. I actually just laid this thing out like this not long ago. This morning. Usually has 4 charts on here. Switched over to a 3 chart layout. So the 1 minute chart could be a little bigger. 1 minute chart's a little bigger. Then I got a 15 minute and I have a 1 hour. Usually this would have a 4 hour right here. For intraday, I really don't need to be looking at a 4 hour. I really don't even need to look at the 1 hour. It's just there for more visual so I can kind of see what the market is doing. The 15 minute, again, I don't really need to look at that, but it's here. Everything that I need to see is on this 1 minute on the right side of the trade layout. That's what we're going to call that, on the right side of the trade layout. Let's go ahead. Let's blow up this 1 minute chart. Let's go ahead. Let's blow it up. And let's take a big picture look at what the market did from, let's say, 7 o'clock. So if you notice, around 6:45, 7 o'clock, the market just kind of chopped and ranged around what I like to call the last line of defense and the first line of defense. Just kind of chopped around in there. 8:15, it kind of broke out, tried to make a move to the high side, flipped the chart green, pushed back. We didn't get that higher high, so it rolled over. 8:45, we got a nice little red run on the right side of the trade. Red chart, red candles. You should be looking for shorts. That's going to put you on the right side of the trade. You want to be below certain moving averages. You want to be below these lines of defense. Chart flips green. Green chart, green candles. Again, you want to be above certain moving averages, and you'll get the run that you're looking for. That was from 9:45, 10 o'clock until 11:30. And then guess what? Red chart, red background. Notice, last line of defense. Came down to it, pushed up, came back down to it. Once it broke that, all bets off. Boom, you see it. All bets are off. I'm not sure if y'all get this commercial. Oh, I think I mentioned it before on YouTube. The guy says, long on blue, short on red. Same similar concept with this. I just added a couple of other things on there to kind of make the trade better, to kind of enhance the trade. So red chart, red candles below key areas. Now you just need to find an entry. You need to find a reason to take the trade, and that's what we're going to do now. Come on out. And like I said, I already have the got the charts marked because I did a recap live streaming. But you hear me say I went back to like my live trader roots, professional trading strategies. They got what they call a buy setup, and they got what they call a sell setup. This is not something that they invented. All it is a first 1 minute candle. And I won't even say first 1 minute. It is the first candle to make a new high in any or on any time frame that you're trading. So if you're trading the 5 minute, it's going to be the first 5 minute candle to make a new high. If it's the 1 minute, it's going to be the first 1 minute candle to trade a new high. I'm trading off of a 1 minute chart, y'all. So for me, it's going to be the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. Thing with this on the right side of the trade system, I put certain things in place to kind of enhance the trade, to kind of ensure that you're going to be on the right side of the trade. So we see market was making higher highs, higher lows. For me, I need to see a pullback that's at least 3 candles. It needs to break the high of the previous candle, of course, and then I'm going to put my stop below it. It can't be an inside bar candle. Like, that's not going to work. That's an inside bar. It didn't. So, like, let's say that this candle breaks the high of that candle. This candle is inside of that candle. It doesn't work that way. Can't take that trade. Another one, you don't want the pullback to break the low of the prior pullback. Look how close that one got. I got fairly close to breaking it, but boom. Entry, stop, off to the races. So you got a little pullback. This is more so of a flag, not really clean pullbacks. You want clean, what live traders would say for their strategy. You want clean sequential candles. You don't want like these little choppy insides and then a flush and then insides. You don't want that. But came over, this pushed back up, this pulled back. Here we go with that. Not really a clean pullback, not sequential candles. But I jump in long right here. I catch either a bad fill or I'm a little late to the party. Looking at that, I should have been in at 345. I got in at 350. Stop is going to be down below it. I got about 1 R out of that trade. Got about 1 R out of that trade. If you look at this candle and you look at the move that it made, that's about 1 R. Comes up, you get 2 candles here, break the high, put the stop. You could have traded that, but for my particular system, I want to see 3 candles minimum. What live traders would say is a short pullback. It's going to lead to a short follow through. So for me, I found that 3 candles on a 1 minute is a decent pullback. Let's keep on coming over though. Notice kind of chop, not really clean pullbacks. Some other rules that I have in place that will kind of make sure you're on the right side of the trade. Hollowed candles are your traditional red candles. You notice all these candles are green, but hollowed candles, this is a traditional red candle. Solid full body candles, those are green candles. Try to avoid going in on a hollow candle because that's going to be a red candle. That's one of the rules. It's not a rule to make you not take the trade, but it's a rule to tell you it has a higher probability of not working. So one of the rules that I wrote in there. But come on over. We kind of just chopped around. Boom, you get that big move down, breaks this pivot. I don't want to go long below this 5-minute 10 EMA. So even though you get a nice move off of this pivot, I sat and I watched this happen. I was at the desk. I watched that happen. That's not a tradable moment. This thing pulls back. Again, nice little doji right here, but guess what? It's below the 10 moving average. So I didn't take that one. This comes up. Now, shallow little pullback. Only 1 candle. Shallow pullback, shallow follow through. I do go long right here because I'm looking for the break and go. But as soon as I got green, I started locking in. As soon as I got green, I started locking in for this to possibly happen. Shallow pullback, shallow follow through, rolled the heck over. Boom. That was second trade. Let's keep going. And I think that thing said I took 6 trades. I really only took 3, but it was because of how I entered them. And then this was the last trade right here, y'all. And this is here is going to speak to what I'm talking about. So chart flips, red chart, red candles. I need to be looking for shorts. Once we get past this last line of defense, then I'm going to be looking for pullbacks, first 1 minute candle to make the new low. Boom, money. Pullback, shallow, fairly shallow, 2 candles. Shallow pullback, I'm going to expect a shallow move. But let's look at my trade, y'all. Let's look at my trade. Market flushed out. Notice these. This is a long entry. That's where I got out at. And I'm off by 1 point where I dropped that candle at. That high of that candle was 256. I got out at 255. So I almost top ticked my exit. Nothing really to brag about. But the reason for taking this trade, and this is that old LMD mentality. You look at this chart, red candles. On the right side of the trade is going short. I took a long. I was not on the right side of this trade. Luckily, it made the little pop. I made what I wanted to make and I got out. I basically was trying to get over $200 on this trade. And my thought process was, in this move down, this candle was going to be the first candle to make a new high. It should pop, which it did. And I got out of it and it rolled over. This was the better trade. Had I just not taken this trade and I waited on this, again, shallow pullbacks though, a lot of shallow pullbacks, 2 candles. Again, I want to see it. I like to see 3. Is that a game changer? No, but it's going to tell me not to expect the big flush follow throughs. We're going to see that here in a minute. But that's the better trade. Now I'm on the right side of the trade. And if this doesn't work, it just didn't work. But at least I was on the right side of the trade. Came up, flush out, came up, flush out. up. Look at this. You get, again, like these. This one here, you get 1, 2, 3. This is the full body candle. Now you're short. Now you want to see hollow candles when you're going down. So don't really want to take that. That's going to be a lower probability trade, but it worked. You can take this one, put the stop up there, kind of pulled back, then it gave you 2R. But let's come over here. Look at this one. Nice. Fairly sequential pullback. Hollow candle. That's a red candle. When it breaks the low, entry, stop. This thing paid out stupendously. That paid out stupendously. Let's scroll on over. Let's see where we're at right now. We are above the 10. So again, these pullbacks, if this thing pulls back up here and if it left a nice top and tail that was hollow, I can't take that trade because it's above the 10 moving average. But yeah, that is the on the right side of the trade system. Remember I was saying everything I want to see is on this 1 minute chart. So for me, I like to know where the 15-minute 20 EMA is at. It right now it's at 21,232. Price is at 21,136. Before I would even think about going long, even if this chart flipped green, I want to see price back above that. And then I'll totally be sold on longs when price gets above the 15-minute 200, 21,377. That's going to flip the 15-minute trend green. The 4 hour, I don't really need that. And then remember how I keep saying first 1 minute candle to make the new low? I can highlight this candle and I can look up top and see what that candle is. But real time as the market is moving, this right here is telling me what the last candle was that just closed. The high of that candle was 21,155. The low of that candle was 21,142. The range of that candle was $12.75 points. I can go into the study and tell it how much I want to risk. Right now, I have it set to risk $50. If I want to risk $50 when it breaks the low of that candle, if I was going short, I would need 1.96 contracts. So if I buy 2 contracts, I know I'm going to be risking a little bit more than $50 because we cannot buy fractional contracts. So if I want to risk $50, I can get 2 contracts and I'm going to be risking a little bit more than that. If I want 2R out of the trade, now I know that the trade needs to go 25.5 points. If I want 1R out of the trade, it needs to go 12.75. So let's just call it 13. 13 off of that low right there is going to be 122. If you was getting in off of that candle, we need to see the market go to right there for target. But again, I would not take this trade because it's above the 5-minute 10 EMA. I would expect it to do exactly what it's doing right there. So got rules in place. Have rules in place. I think these rules are pretty good. If you want more information on this particular strategy, this particular system, go ahead and join the Discord. Check it out. Link is in the description. I post about it. I talk about it. I live stream. I have been live streaming on YouTube, but also live stream on the Discord. Nothing fancy. Just a couple of guys that sit over there. My homeboy Spark with Spark and Trade. He sits in the chat room as well. He's usually streaming on his channel. He trades a different edge. My edge might not be for you, but you might like what he's doing. So be sure to come on over to the Discord, hang out, check it out. On that note, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to wrap up this recap. As always, thanks for checking me out. If you hadn't hit that like button, please do so. And we can always continue the conversation in the comments. I just realized I got my Dwayne Waynes on. That's what I call these. Having to thread these machines back there with that little eye of the needle. Sometimes it helps to be able to flip down and It's almost like magnifying glasses on top of my regular reading glasses. But I'm going to wrap this one up. As always, thanks for checking me out. Peace.